Right now on Golf Central, Tiger Woods meets the press on the eve of his first official PGA Tour start in 12 months. Highlights from his news conference at Torrey Pines. Coming off the win last week at career builder, Jon Rahm has a chance at the world's #1 ranking. We do the math to explain how this is possible. You'll also hear from Ricky Fowler, hoping to kickstart his season with another good finish in his native California. All that and more in the next hour of Golf Central.
Golf Central.
And with that, welcome into Golf Central. Whit Watson, Billy Kratzert in studio. And the buzz you hear around San Diego this week is the return of Tiger Woods, making his season debut at the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines. Woods coming off spinal fusion surgery, trying to replicate past success, and there's been a lot of it at Torrey Pines. The Pro-Am earlier today, not much you can really learn except, perhaps, how that full swing looks, and at the first hole from the fairway, his second shot.
Well, I would say this is a nicely judged little shot right there. North course has been reworked by Tom Weiskopf and understanding the slopes. Players are still learning the golf course, but that's an excellent iron shot by Tiger Woods.
Tigers won there 7 times in the regular PGA Tour stop, par 3 third, chipping his second.
Yeah, a lot of green to work with. A lot of people ask the question, where is Tiger Woods' game? Simply because, you know what, he really hasn't shown his best stuff in the short game, as evidenced here.
Yeah, this was the par 5 fifth with his third shot, leaving it short.
Made a nice little chip shot here. Well judged. Again, a lot of green to work with. Rolls it up there just short of the hole. With that, able to save par.
To the par 4 sixth, Tiger hitting his second shot again, finding fairways quite often.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be a key, especially on the South Course, Whit. When you play the South Course, you cannot play out of the rough. You cannot play out of that density. There's just no way you're going to survive. And the other key is that he's hitting it flag high.
Par 4 seventh, chipping his third here.
Not the best effort, but hey, it's a Pro-Am. I've got partners.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make birdie.
That's right. Maybe trying to make a run at it, putt to save par, did not go. So Tiger playing very early in the morning on Wednesday in that Pro-Am round. And again, there's going to be a lot of attention on Woods with the full swing. That's been the key because of the spinal fusion surgery. But what about the short game? Around this golf course, you've got to be have some pretty good touch, don't you?
Yes, I think if you go around and you hit 13 greens, especially on the South Course, that's going to be a great ball striking day when you look at what players do on the South Course. The North Course, it's gotten a lot more bite than what it did. Tom Weiskopf did a phenomenal job in reconstructing this golf course, renovating it, bringing it back. So you're going to have to rely on your short game if you're going to shoot some low numbers.
But let's talk about the long game for a second and the full swing. Tiger saying, and you're going to hear his press conference in a minute, that he's pain-free. He can go full on, freewheel it a little bit. What do you see in this full swing?
Well, when I spoke with Tiger at the President's Cup, he said that exactly what you said, that, you know, the pain is gone. But look at the freedom of the left shoulder. Sure, the golf swing is not going to get to parallel. You know, it's right at it. It's close. But look at the way that he finishes. When you finish on that front leg, you finish to where your body is straight up. You've eliminated all the pressure on the lower back. If you can eliminate the pressure on the lower back, chances are you're going to feel pretty good about your golf swing and where you are swinging the golf club because you don't put a lot of pressure on it. There's not a lot of compression. And if he can eliminate that, which he has done, personally, I think this is the best version of any of the swings we've seen him with after surgery.
Thursday, 1:40 p.m. Eastern Time on the South Course. That's when Woods will go off. At this event last year, of course, missed the cut, then had that surgery, missed the rest of 2017. He plays alongside Patrick Reed and Charlie Hoffman. He did hold a news conference after the Pro-Am. We'll listen in as to why Tiger says this year will be different.
Yeah, I have no more pain in my back. My back is fused. So that wasn't the case last year. We're trying to manage the disc and the vertebrae. But it's all finished now. Now it's fused, and quality of life is infinitely better than it was last year at this point. No one's had a spinal fusion, at that level, and have been able to hit the ball that hard as I do. I'd like to meet somebody who can swing it over 120 miles an hour with a fused back. You know anybody? That's what I mean. And no one understands that. So I have to rely on my own feels and play around what my body can and cannot do. It's not going to look like it used to. I mean, 'cause I don't have the mobility that I do, that I used to. And that's just the reality. And now it's just a matter of what can I do? And that's just practicing and getting my feels and trusting it, experimenting a lot to try and figure out what can this body do and how explosive can it be, and how am I going to control shots with different shapes? Am I going to have different feels? And some of that stuff is yes, some of the stuff is different, and I'm still learning it.
Is this an ideal place to return, or is this a hard place for you to return?
Well, I think that I could look at it at different scenarios. I mean, if I would have come back and played last week, yeah, the conditions are easier, but you have to shoot 600 par a day. And here, that's difficult conditions, and we're going to be making a lot of pars. Either scenario would have been difficult. I mean, I haven't played, and I got to start somewhere and try and get my game and my feels, back. I just really haven't played tournament golf basically since Wyndham of 2015. It's been a long time. And so I just want some starts. I want to start feeling what it feels like to be out here and hit shots, grind out scores. I've been looking forward to. I'm just trying to build towards April. And that's what I told you guys last year in the Bahamas, is I'm looking forward to playing a full schedule and getting ready for the Masters. And I haven't done that in a very long time.
Do you have to temper your own expectations, and what is success for you this week? How would you define that?
Well, I think that, yeah, my expectations have tempered a little bit because I haven't played. And, when I came back off my ACL injury in 08 and started playing in 09, it was 9 months. But I had been playing a full schedule prior to that. Here, I haven't played a full schedule since 2015. It's been a long time. And to be honest with you, I just want to start playing on the tour and get into a rhythm of playing a schedule again. I haven't done that in such a long time, so I don't know what to expect. I just go out there and just play, and I'm going to grind it, give it everything I possibly have, try and put my ball in the right position, make some putts, and try and work my way up the board. But as far as understanding what it takes to win out here, I don't know what the number is going to be. I'm usually pretty good at calling the number before the tournament starts, but I haven't seen a lot of these young guys play. And I met John yesterday for the first time, and it's been a lot of names that I haven't seen, I haven't played with, haven't seen their games, and we'll see.
John, in this case, being John Rahm, who is 19 years Tiger's junior. We did the math and tried to figure out where Tiger would end up in the world rankings depending on his finish at the Farmers Insurance Open. Currently ranked 647th in the world. A win would get him inside the top 90. Anything worse than 52nd, now he probably wouldn't move a whole lot in those official world golf rankings. George Savaricas is covering the Farmers Insurance Open this week, and he's got more on Tiger's busy day in Southern California.
Yeah, what if Tuesday was considered fairly low-key out here for Tiger's 9-hole practice round? Today, Wednesday, for the Pro-Am, it was back to normal, all things considered, with the massive galleries following Tiger for his Wednesday Pro-Am on the North Course. He got to the range here at Torrey Pines around 6 a.m., then teed off at 6:40 a.m. There's a big media horde, myself included, following him, as well as galleries that are about 2 to 3 deep in certain areas on the North Course. As far as his game, you saw the highlights earlier in Golf Central post-game. The big thing that Tiger's talked about is his chipping and getting used to chipping on ryegrass, something he said he hasn't done done in about the past year. He spent a bunch of extra time on Tuesday hitting extra chip shots on the front nine on the North course today. He had 6 scrambling opportunities, went 3 for 6 getting up and down, but hit a lot of good chip shots. On the other end of the spectrum with his driver, the big story has been his club head speed is 120 plus. That's what we saw at the Hero. It would arguably be about the fastest in the field at the Farmers Insurance Open. So all things considered, with the club head speed, I asked Tiger Woods, considering the unknowns, with this being your 4th back surgery you had to deal with in spinal fusion, and just 6 months ago you could only hit chip and putts, how surprising is it that your club head speed is where it's at now?
I hadn't felt good in 4 or 5 years. My surgeon, he said from the get-go, once it's fused, you'll have speed like you did back in your early 30s, and he's right, because there's no pain. I'm not flinching. It doesn't hurt as I take the club back. It doesn't hurt right before impact. It doesn't hurt after impact. It doesn't hurt when I walk. It was a tough go for a while, and I don't have any of those feelings. So yeah, I can let it go. I can hit it, and I'm getting the ball out there a little bit. I'm starting to hit some shots. I'm starting to shape the golf ball again. And now I got to start doing the tournament and hitting those shapes, those shots, those numbers. It's going to take a little time, but I'm looking forward to it.
Now you can push all the prep work to the side. The final exam starts for Thursday's opening round, where Tiger will see the South course. And it's not like he's going to have to deal with the frigid weather we saw a year ago at the Farmers Insurance Open, but temperatures barely expected to climb into the 60s for the first and second round. That, coupled with the fact that a number of guys have told me the South is playing as firm as they've ever seen, it's going to be a stern test, an imperative that Tiger get off to a quick start. Also, because the North course isn't the North course of years past, where you could figure you could shoot 5 or 4 under pretty easily. Tiger said if you shoot a 67, you are making hay on the North course, which he'll see in the second round with. So, you know what? We're going to get to see where his game is at, and Tiger's going to get to see what's in store for the first couple rounds at Torrey Pines. Whit?
George Savaricas in Southern California as we take a look at some notable tee times at the Farmers Insurance Open. Ricky Fowler playing with Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele. Phil Mickelson, Hideki Matsuyama, and Justin Rose are together. There is John Rahm. More on him later. Jason Day, we also have notes on him coming up in the show. And Brandt Snedeker together. And, of course, Woods playing with Patrick Reed and Charlie Hoffman. Coverage starts Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The European Tour continues its Middle Eastern swing with the Omega Dubai Desert Classic, the event dating back to 1989, making it the longest-running European Tour event in the Middle East. And the last 2 winners of this event, Danny Willett and Sergio Garcia, went on to win the Masters in the same year. Sergio's on form. He won last week in Singapore. Race to Dubai leader Tommy Fleetwood also among a very impressive field. As we check out notable tee times here, Ernie Els has been fabulous in Dubai over the years. There's Willett playing with fellow Brits Ian Poulter and Lee Westwood. Sergio has Henrik Stenson and Rory McIlroy. Thomas Pieters, there's Fleetwood, Pat Perez, Sullivan, Oosthuizen, and Keimer. McIlroy has won this event twice. He's finished inside the top 10 for 7 straight years and looking forward to his return after a good finish last week in Abu Dhabi.
I really enjoyed last week. I enjoyed getting back out there, and I enjoyed how I played. I felt like I did really well last week. Obviously, I didn't get the win, but even just to be in contention on the last day and have a chance to win, I felt like that was a real success for me last week. So great first week back, and looking forward to getting started again this week and doing it all over. And I now know where my game's at, which is really nice, and feel like I can go out there this week, and if I can play like I played last week, I should have another good chance to try and win.
You've got a great record in this event. What did it mean to win your first European Tour event here?
It was fantastic to get that first win. I'd knocked on the door quite a few times before that. Hong Kong, South Africa, Switzerland. It was my time, and it was nice to finish it off the way I did. And that first win catapulted me to a sort of new level in my career. And thankfully, I've sort of just went onwards and upwards from there. And this place, this golf course, it's got great memories for me, and hopefully I can create some more good memories this week.
McIlroy, Stenson, Garcia, and the rest of the best of the European Tour in the shadow of the Dubai skyline. Coverage of the Omega Dubai Desert Classic tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. prime time on the West Coast. When we come back on Golf Central, John Rahm with a chance to achieve the world's #1 ranking this week. How in the world is this possible? We did the heavy math. Lexi Thompson back at the Pure Silk Bahamas LPGA Classic, where she lost in a playoff last year. A report from Atlantis when Golf Central continues.